Can you hear me? I can hear you. Yeah, I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to myself. Hello and welcome to Peaceful as Fuck Podcast. Peaceful AF Podcast. The show that prioritizes peace through self-improvement, manifestation, and healing. We also talk about love and relationships because we know love and relationships definitely know how to disturb the peace. So we will be covering all those things on this podcast show. This is my first episode, so thank you for tuning in. I want you guys to stay to the end of this episode because not only is it's my first episode, it is the beginning of 2023. And this episode is so fire because you're going to learn a lot in this episode because I'm going to be doing a challenge for myself. And I wanted to share this challenge that I'm doing in hopes that you guys jump on it with me. So I'm going to get right into this episode. I'm going to get right into this. And again, if you are new to this channel or you're new to this podcast, you can find me on all platforms at Peace with Neek. That's on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. I am on all platforms. So go ahead and look for me because you'll be seeing a lot more and hearing a lot more from me. Okay, so let me reintroduce myself again. My name is Dominique, but everyone calls me Neek. I am a mother of two beautiful daughters. And I'm sorry for the background noise. I apparently live in an apartment and there's like horses and bears and a fucking zoo above me, clearly, because like they're just stomping the yard up there. I don't know what the hell. But yeah, excuse all my little background noises, y'all. You have to compromise me. I just moved. I'm in a very compromising situation as far as my setup because I don't have my furniture yet. My neighbors are loud. I have two dogs, so just excuse the little here's and there's. This is not going to be a perfect podcast, I can tell you that. But anyways, before I get too carried away, again, my name is Dominique. I'm a mom. Everyone calls me Neek. I'm also a YouTuber, and now I'm a podcaster. I also recently got hired to be a flight attendant. So you guys will be hearing a lot about my endeavors with flying and being a flight attendant. I start that job next month, which is a day away because it's December 31st currently. So I start that job in the middle of January. And I really don't want to even consider it a job. I consider it more a career move because it is something that I always wanted to do, although I'm very big on entrepreneurship. That's like my first priority, and actually what you see and what you hear me doing right now is a part of my business. But I found myself in a place where I say, you know what, if I'm going to work a job, let me list those jobs that I'm willing to work, and flight attendant was one of them. And I just need the extra support while I follow my dreams. And if I'm going to be working a job while supporting my business, I'm going to do a job that I actually want to do. I'm not going to just settle. So yeah, that is me. I'm so happy that you're here with me today. And yeah, let's get on with this. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about mental toughness. And we're also going to be discussing what I'm doing to personally get mentally tough. Going into this new year, I just want to go in with a very strong mindset. I realized if your mental isn't there, then nothing else is there. And if I can say anything in my reflection of 2022 was when your mental is not there, a lot of other things will lack. And I feel like if I go into the year with mental clarity and challenging my brain, everything else will fall into place. Maybe not like seamlessly because nothing's perfect or nothing's easy. But if I start on my mental first, then everything else will follow. So we'll be discussing mental toughness, what I'm doing going into this new year to get mental tough, get more mentally tough. And just stay to the end of this episode because you don't want to miss any of the details, because after you hear about what I'm doing, I will hope that you guys will want to join me on this challenge. So let's just jump right into it. New year, new goals, New Year's resolutions. Oh, I'm going to lose weight. Oh, I'm going to do this. Oh, I'm going to do that. Is like what we're so used to hearing in the beginning of every New Year's. Everybody makes New Year's resolutions and new goals and want to get in the gym and go hard, and then 99 point whatever % of us ends up not even sticking that out through the whole first week of January. So I want to talk about how New Year's resolutions, the stigma and how that is presented to us should just be thrown away. It should just be thrown away. It shouldn't be a thing anymore, because something about that method doesn't truly work for everybody. New year, new goals is always something that you should strive for throughout your year. That shouldn't just be a January thing. That should be every month. You should be making new goals. Every month you should be striving to be a better version of yourself. You should be having a resolution every week, month, however you operate. You should have that set throughout the year through different times. We're going to do a lot of things in this one year. So let's get rid of the stigma of New Year's new goals. I actually watched a video on this guy who was saying, it was like a little clip that came up on my Instagram feed, and he said, I hope you guys aren't out here making New Year's resolutions. We need to follow what nature is doing. Like, New Year's is not the time to get up and be working out and doing all this in January. You're not supposed to be doing all these things. We're supposed to be hibernation mode, just like nature is. We should be moving more slowly and things of that nature. And then when the spring comes is when we spring up out of that hibernation and we start going, and that's when we start. I resonated with that a lot. I resonated, and I really felt like he was making a really good point there. However, we are human beings, and human beings have the power. We're literally one of those species that have the power to do the things that are unnatural. So I believe that you set goals for yourself whenever you feel like it. It shouldn't be any, there's firecrackers out there. I don't live in a hood, that's not gunshots. If you heard that, it's New Year's Eve, so people were popping firecrackers. But anyways, I get what he was saying, but we also can do the things that are unnatural. So if we are supposed to be doing the things that we're supposed to be mimicking nature, that's cool. And I'm not even against that. I can even see myself trying that one day. But I just go with my instincts and how I feel. And I feel like, it's the beginning of the year. I had a great 2022. And it's time for me to go into a new phase of my life. And that just happened to be in the beginning of January. I just moved back to the States. I was living over in the Bahamas. I was working at a contractor job on a military base. And I stayed there half of the year, half of 2022, me, my daughters. I have 2 daughters. And then my mother and my dad and one of my sisters also worked over there. So I had my family over there, and it was a very remote island. It's not Nassau, the place that everybody thinks of when they think of Bahamas. Bahamas has multiple islands, and the family islands, Andros, which I lived on, is one of the biggest islands, but it doesn't have a lot of things there. So it was a very humbling experience for me. I got to really see life on the perspective where you don't have access to a lot of things that I usually would. So I just really went through a phase in that last 6 months of this last 6 months of 2022. And now I just moved to Florida. I'm living in Tampa now, and I am in a new chapter. So I'm ready to do new things. I cut my hair. I started a new pair of locks. I'm just ready for a new change. And I think before I jump into a big change, I want to go ahead and get my brain disciplined. And I want to go ahead and get my mental as clear as it can be. It's never going to be completely, I'm just 100% just on go and ready. No, it's always going to be some type of challenge. But how about challenging myself now? So when those challenges come, my brain will have the exercise to handle it, if you get what I'm saying. So, that's what, I'm going into the New Year's with. Reflecting on the past year, what I really wanted to do was look back on this year and just give gratitude to all the good things. I had a lot of ups and downs and ins and outs, but show gratitude for what you've been through. Even if it wasn't the most beautiful experience, I would say 2022 for me personally was one of the best years I've had in a long time. I think from 2019 to 2021, those were some really hard years for me. And I'm very grateful even for those times, because those years made me stronger and made me a better person. In 2022, I have so much gratitude for that year as well, because even though I had ups and downs, I got to experience such rare things that people don't get to experience, and I'm grateful for that. And I had a roof over my head, I had food in my body, my daughters were healthy, I was healthy, my family was healthy. Like, I had so many great things going on that all I can do is show gratitude. And the thing about gratitude is, like, I heard this before, it's kind of a selfish thing in a way, but it's selfless at the same time. You show gratitude because you truly are thankful, but also God will reward you, or whatever. I'm not a super religious person, but I do believe in God. And I believe that, you get rewarded when you're thankful for what you have presently. You can't go and progress in life if you're not thankful for the things that you already have. That's just not how that works. If you're like, oh, I live in this shit whole place, this fucking, oh my God. Oh, wow. Wow. I'm gonna have to edit all that out. Sorry about that, guys. They are popping these fireworks over here. Like, they ain't playing. They ain't mad at them. Celebrate. I'm spending New Year's Eve and New Year's Day alone. My family, my daughters are in Texas right now with their dad's side. My parents are in Dallas as well, taking care of some business. All my siblings are in Dallas. Like, I'm literally here with just me and my dogs. That's it. So, I'm just going to enjoy the noise from the outside. But I wish it would stop interrupting my podcast. But anyways, show gratitude. Show gratitude. Reflect on your past year. If I can give any advice for you coming into the new year, even if you don't do this mental toughness challenge with me, I do suggest that you reflect on this past year, whether you write it, whether you speak it out loud. Reflect on your past year. Think about the things that you went through. Talk about the things that you went through, and then find the things to be grateful for out of those events that you experienced in 2022. Show gratitude in all of the parts of your year that you experienced already. So going into your new year, you're open to new things, and you're open to change, and you're open to experiencing new things because you were grateful for the things that you already went through and the things that you're currently in. Okay, so another piece of advice that I can give that I do every year is make a vision board. I made a vision board starting in 2019 for the first time on New Year's. And that became like my new thing. Like, I started making vision boards all the time. Like, all the time. I'm just talking now. That's good. Not all the time. I started making vision boards for New Year's. That's like my new ritual. So I made a vision board this year, and the reason I love vision boards is, like, I could put a lot of stuff on my board, and I can go back and reflect on it at the end of the year, and not necessarily that everything that I put on that board happened. No. Sometimes I repeat something on a board. Like, I have something on my 2019 board that I put on my 2020 board, that I put on my 2021 and 2022 that I have not yet seen yet. However, I'm going to keep putting it until it's seen, because there are things on my board that have manifested into my life. Like, I wrote it, I had pictures and collages of it, I spoke it, and it came to me. And some of those things I remember putting on my board and not even realizing that would happen for me. Like, just putting it as a dream, just as a vision, but didn't really know that would happen for me. And every time something on my vision board comes to light, like, I get to see it, it gives me more confidence in visualization as a form of manifestation. If you visualize yourself in a place or in a situation, or even when it comes to your finances or trips or health, whatever, if you can see it, you can have it. So I will suggest you to reflect on your past year, give good gratitude, and going forward, make a vision board. And you don't have to do this on the 1st of January. You can do this whenever you feel like it. You can do it whenever you feel it's right. If you don't feel like doing it in January, you don't have to do that. That is completely your choice. But I think that is a very great tool to use. Everybody makes vision boards differently. Hop on YouTube. If you guys want me to make a video on how I do my vision boards, let me know. Send me a DM on Instagram, TikTok, at Peace with Neek. Let me know. Comment under my podcast, whatever. Just get in contact with me if that's something you will want to see. Because if I have a lot of people who want to see it, I'll go ahead and make a video for it. So, yes. Also, something that I did on my vision board that I started doing last year was writing a letter to myself. So I wrote a letter to myself. It's in this envelope last year, January 1st, 2022. Well, this year. It's still December, but you get what I'm saying. I wrote a letter to myself. It's about 5 pages long, and I'm going to be reading this on New Year's Day. I'm going to be reading this tomorrow, right after the countdown. I'm going to read this note, and I don't even remember what I wrote. That's what's crazy. But I do know I was a different person when I wrote this letter. And so after I finish reading this one, I'll be writing myself another letter for 2023. So when 2024 comes, I'll have a letter to read. And so this is just a really fun activity to do, and I highly recommend it. This is the first year that I get to read my letter, and I'm excited. Like, I'm so excited to read it. So yeah, I'll let you guys know how that goes. Okay, let's get into the challenge. So the challenge that I am doing is called the 75 Hard Challenge. So I tried this challenge before, and I failed on the third day. And when I failed on the third day, I did not try again. And so I was listening to a podcast, and I was scrolling through TikTok, and this is all in the same day. And this 75 Hard Challenge came up in my feed and on my podcast in the same day. So I looked at it as a sign because I was looking for something to do to challenge myself. And I remember trying this and really, really wanting it and failing at it and then giving up completely. I did it this past year, and I didn't finish it. I didn't go through with it. And I really felt some way about that because it kind of downed my confidence because I promised myself I was going to do it and I didn't. And so it didn't make me feel good about myself. So I'm going in again. I'm going to give it a go again, and I'm going to try this time with my full effort and with the knowing of my why. My why is because I want to be more disciplined and I want to be more confident. And not confident in how I look, confident in myself, just in my general stuff, like trust myself. I want to do that. So let me talk about the challenge. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. So the 75 Hard Challenge is a challenge that was created by an author named Andy Frisella. He's also a podcaster, and he is he's a CEO of a supplement company called First Form. So he wrote this book called the 75 Hard Challenge, and you don't have to read the book to do the challenge. Literally, you can Google, you can TikTok, you can look up the rules on this challenge, and it'll tell you all about it. So like you don't have to read the book in order to do the program. But this program is set to do many things for you. It's a mental toughness challenge. It's not a physical, like a fitness challenge. Like a lot of people think it's for fitness, although your fitness will be like a plus. Like you will lose weight, you will get in shape if you do it full out. Like don't try to modify it to your liking. Like that's not doing it. If you're gonna do it, you gotta do it exactly how it's written. And there's a set of rules that I'm about to get into in just a moment. But with research and like seeing that people have done this, what they've came out to is that this mental toughness challenge improves your confidence, your self-esteem, your perseverance, your self-worth, your self-belief. It changes your relationship with food, and it gives you more mental clarity. That is just some of the few things that this challenge has been proven to do for people. Is this challenge for everybody? No, like this challenge is a very restrictive, challenge. It's very restrictive and it's very challenging. You have to go with your instincts on things like this. This is not like a doctor recommended. He's not a doctor or anything. This is something that he made and people tried and it's worked, and it's worked for him and it's worked for other people. And so you have to go on your instincts if this is something for you. You have to ask yourself certain questions to see if this is something for you. Let me go over the rules of the challenge. So you have to follow a diet, and the diet is the diet of your choice, but it must be a structured eating plan with goals of physical improvement. So obviously you can't go on like a pizza diet or like something unhealthy. It has to be a healthy, balanced diet that has some type of plan. And the thing is, you cannot have any cheat meals. So even if that diet tells you you can have a cheat meal on Saturdays, no, you can't. You cannot have a cheat meal. You're going to do 75 days of this diet, no cheating, sticking straight to it. Also, no alcohol. You won't be allowed to have alcohol in the 75 days, which is going to be a challenge for me because I love my wine and my tequila. So that's going to be a challenge, but I know I could do it because there's been plenty of times that I stopped drinking just because. So I have a lot of confidence in myself in that. The second rule is to complete 2 45-minute workouts, and one of those 45-minute workouts have to be outside. And the reason for that is because being in nature actually gives you some type of mental clarity. It brings something else out of us. It puts us in an element where we're in a different environment and not in this enclosed environment. And when you're outside, you actually can appreciate nature and be one with nature. And I get why it's important to do one outside and one inside. And if you're going to choose to just do one, just do them both outside. Like, you can't choose to say, oh, I'm going to do both of them on the inside. No, outside is a very key point of this. And so people who live like in cold areas, this is a true challenge for them, because going outside in below 0, degrees, or 32 degrees or whatever, however cold it is, in those areas, that's a challenge to work out in that, whether it's just walking or yoga, because you can do whatever workouts you want as well. So you can take it light, but just imagine doing that in like 20-degree weather. So I feel for you guys that are up in the upstate colder areas like I do, that tried this challenge, and the ones who are going to try it, because that is going to make it even more tough, and that's going to really challenge your mental to be able to do it. I live in Florida, so I don't really have those issues. Like, it doesn't get too cold here, and I think the little bit of cold we got is already passed. So grateful for that, for me. All right, so two workouts a day, 45 minutes. Each one has to be outside, and that's every day. All 75 days you have to do that. The third rule is take a progress picture every day, which I think is a pretty cool thing to do, because then you'll be able to track your progress. And some people go through a challenge and not even track their progress, and don't even see it in the end. But being able to take a picture every day and see it from the beginning to the end, I'm pretty sure that would be pretty helpful. So that is another rule. The next rule is drinking a gallon of water a day. This one is going to be pretty tough for me. I'll go more into detail why, because it was a point in my life where I was drinking a gallon of water a day, but now I'm not, because I've made a change in my life where it's a lot harder for me to consume a gallon of water. But I'm going to get to that. Stay with me. I'm getting there. But that's something that I'm going to have to do, because it's part of this challenge. So I bought me a big jug to fill up every day, that has like motivational speeches and has times and stuff, like I got it from Amazon. So yeah, I'll be drinking a gallon of water a day. The next rule is read 10 pages of a book. And you cannot do an audiobook. It has to be an actual, like your eyeballs are reading it. And it has to be a nonfiction book. So like self-help books, things like that. Not like Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter. Like, it can't be like a book like that. It has to be a nonfiction book. So that's the rules. I mean, as simple as they sound, me just saying them out, it's not simple. It's not simple. So, I mean, look into this for yourself. Do your own research. It was trending on TikTok for a while. I think it still is. This book was written in 2019, so it's not brand new, but it's still fairly new. But yeah, check it out. Check it out for yourself. Do more research. I'm giving you like a vague description of it, but I hope that people jump on this with me, because I'm excited for it, even though I know it's not going to be easy. I really don't care for easy. I like a challenge. So I'm going to take this on with like a good positive vibe, and go through this and be happy about what I'm doing. Like, people might think I'm crazy, people might try to talk me out of it, but listen, it's my life, it's my body. I'm gonna do what I want. I'm gonna do as I please, love. So yeah. All right, so why am I doing it? Let's talk about that. After reflecting on this past year, I realized that I need more discipline. If I can say I needed to work on anything this past year, was being disciplined. I set out a lot of different things and goals, and I am a type of person who usually follows through with it. But this year, I struggled. I got distracted very easily, and I'm not being hard on myself, because again, I'm grateful for the things that I did accomplish. I accomplished a lot this year. But I do know myself. I know myself well enough to know that I could have been more disciplined in a lot of things that I was doing. And I really know that this challenge is going to help me with that. I know it's going to help me with that. Also, on the fitness side, I want to break my plateau. by giving my body a challenge. So a little bit of a background, just a small background. I used to be over 300 pounds. This is years ago. I've been on many fitness journeys, and I even had weight loss surgery. I had a gastric sleeve surgery this past year, actually, in March. So people think because you have these surgeries, any type of surgery, that, oh, then you got it easy. Wrong. No, that's not the truth, and it never will be. That's just that. That's not the truth, and it just never will be. I hit a plateau. I've lost about 80 pounds since my surgery, and I've hit a plateau. I haven't lost any more weight in this past 4 months. I've literally just been sitting on the same weight in the same size, not even just on a scale. Like my clothes, at first they were falling off of me. Now they're just, the clothes that I've got now are just sitting on me. I hit a plateau, and I know that my body needs a challenge. I know that I need to step into a different routine, and I know that this challenge is definitely going to do that for me. So that is my other reason for doing it. These firecrackers are irritating my soul. They was not doing this until I started recording my podcast, just FYI. The next reason why I wanted to do this challenge is because I want to have more confidence, and I believe that confidence comes from trusting yourself, making a promise to yourself and following through with it. Just like if someone else was to make a promise to you and they always follow through with it, you will have confidence in that person that they will always keep their word. So if they tell you, if they have a habit, or if they've been showing you throughout a certain period of time that everything that they say they do, you're going to really trust that person, and you're going to have confidence that that person will always come through for you and things that you need. You have to look at yourself the same way. If I'm telling myself I am going to do this, and that, and I do that, and this instead, that's going to make my confidence lower. It's not going to make me feel good about myself. It's not going to make me trust myself. So me sticking to something this challenging will give me the confidence that I know that I need. I know it will. And for that, I'm doing it. I'm doing it, y'all. I am doing it. And y'all can jump on it with me. Come on. Jump on this train. Choo choo. No, I'm sorry. I'm doing the most. Okay. All right, so we're not going to carry this episode along too long, because all this background noise is ghetto as fuck, and I can't. I can't. So we're going to try to wrap this up. I'm going to wrap this up with talking about my fitness journey a little bit more. So I'm also recording this on my YouTube channel. So some of my subscribers already know my story. If you're new to my channel and you're new to this podcast, you're about to get a little blurb. I'm just going to throw it in there. So, again, like I said previously, I used to weigh over 300 pounds, 326 pounds to be exact. Right now, currently, I'm 198 pounds. And, it's been a hell of a fucking journey. God damn it. It's been a hell of a journey. I started this journey back, 2014. I've been on this. I had lost 110 pounds by myself, just literally changing my lifestyle. I started getting in the gym heavy, working out, walking, eating healthy. I was very consistent for about 5 years, honestly. And I lost 110 pounds, and I maintained this shape that I had formed for myself, and I was confident, I was feeling good. And then boom, COVID hits, the pandemic hits, coronavirus hits. It came, and not only did it hit, I was in the middle of starting a business that was failing terribly, and I had been going through some relationship issues and some personal life issues and some family issues and some friends issues. I was going through all kinds of issues, and I gained almost all the weight that I lost in 5 years back in less than a year. I gained 80 pounds in less than a year. It took me 4 years to lose 110 pounds, and I gained 80 of that 100 I lost in 1 year. And the thing was, I even went to therapy. I developed the eating disorder in the midst of my fitness journey, because you know why? I never got my mental together while I was on that journey. I didn't never take the time to really get my brain together. Obviously, I challenged my brain because I was able to accomplish such a big weight loss goal, but mentally, I didn't even see the results. Like, I knew I lost weight, but I still saw myself as a different person. And I just developed a really bad relationship with food, and I started binge eating, and that's when I was diagnosed with binge eating disorder. And it was a really dark time for me. Like, I would literally eat till I was sick, and it was very hard for me to stop. Like, I didn't know how to stop this new thing that developed. It wasn't something I had all my life. It was literally something that developed through the years. So fast forwarding, I did end up getting gastric sleeve surgery, which it has changed my life because it has changed my way of looking at food. Because honestly, the gastric sleeve surgery, I can't even consume a lot of food. Even when I try, when I have moments and I try to overeat, my body physically can't. And so if that's one thing I can say, it helped me in that it's like a tool that I really needed. So I still am at a plateau though. Like, I'm still here at a stage where I'm so close to my weight loss goals, but I'm just not there quite yet. So mental health is key in any journey that you're gonna do. What fitness, nutrition, parenting, being a daughter, whatever. You have to get your mental together before you get anything else together. And this is why I'm doing this mental toughness challenge. So yes, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. I hope that you come back and see me. I hope you come back and listen to me on my podcast. And I hope that, this was helpful for you. I hope that you learned something and picked something up new in this. And again, if you're going to do this challenge with me, let me know. I want to know who's in this with me, because I'm ready. I'm ready. And I'll be journaling this process. I don't know what's wrong with my words right now. I'm talking like I'm going to be documenting this process on TikTok. So follow me on TikTok at Peace with Neek, and that's N-E-E-K, Neek. Peace with Neek. So follow me on all platforms. And yeah, thank you for coming with me on this first episode. I hope that I did well enough for y'all. I know it wasn't perfect. I know I have some mess ups. I know it's not the most beautiful podcast you ever heard, but honey, I'm gonna get there. Okay, I'm gonna get there with time. Again, thank you guys so much. I'm so grateful for your time. If you got to the end of this episode, if you got to the end of this podcast, thank you so much. I want to marry you. Give me your hand. I'm gonna put a ring on it because I love you that much. Like, thank you for being here and supporting me. I'm a small time YouTuber. I'm not all the way up there with the big dogs yet, but I do got a following, and I appreciate those people. I appreciate you guys on YouTube who show me love and who supports me through all of my different journeys. I look forward to gaining more followers and subscribers and people who want to go on this thing called life with me. I'm looking forward to it. I would love to close out this episode with an affirmation, and I want you guys to have great intent when you're saying this affirmation. I want you to say it with all good, positive thoughts in mind. Get your subconscious and your conscious to agree with this one, okay? Because it's true for all of us. And if you say it enough, you will believe it, and once you believe it, it becomes you. So let's do this. I am beautiful, and I love myself at every phase of my life. I am beautiful, and I love myself at every phase of my life. I am beautiful, and I love myself at every phase of my life. Thank you guys. Love you. Happy New Year's. Turn up, and then let's get on this mental toughness challenge. See you guys later. Bye.